Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here today. If you can, take a slow breath and just relax. You don't need to study hard right now. You don't need to remember everything. Just listen and let English feel natural. In the previous episode, we talked about some common confusing words like say and tell, make and do, and look, see, and watch. Today, we will continue with more everyday English words that many learners find difficult. These words are not advanced. In fact, they are very simple, but the way we use them, that's where things become confusing. So in this episode, we will explore these words slowly, with clear explanations and natural examples. And by the end, you will feel more comfortable using them in real conversations. Number 1. Speak versus talk. Let's begin with speak and talk. Both words are about communication, but they are not exactly the same. We often use speak when we talk about the ability to use a language. For example, I can speak English. This sentence is about your ability. We also use speak in more formal situations. For example, she is speaking to the manager. Now, let's look at talk. We usually use talk for conversations between people. It feels more relaxed and natural. For example, we talked for hours, or I want to talk to you. So a simple way to understand this is speak is often more formal or about ability. Talk is more about casual conversation. Number 2, hear versus listen. Now let's move to hear and listen. This is a very important difference. Hear is something that happens naturally. You don't try to hear, it just happens. For example, I can hear music. The sound reaches your ears without effort. Now let's look at listen. Listen is active. You are paying attention. For example, I'm listening to a podcast. You are focusing on the sound. So remember, hear is passive, listen is active. Number 3, borrow versus lend. These two words are often confusing. Let's make it simple. Borrow means you take something from someone. For example, can I borrow your pen? You take the pen. Now, lend means you give something to someone. For example, I will lend you my pen. So the direction is important. Borrow equals take. Lend equals give. Number 4, bring versus take. Now let's talk about bring and take. These words are about movement, but the difference is direction. Bring means moving something toward the speaker. For example, bring your book here. The book comes toward you. Now, take means moving something away. For example, take this bag to your room. The bag moves away from you. So remember, bring equals toward. Take equals away. Short pause. Take a moment here. These differences are small, but they are powerful. This is what makes English sound natural. Number 5, remember versus remind. Let's continue with remember and remind. These words are about memory. Remember means something is already in your mind. For example, I remember your face. Now, remind means you help someone remember something. For example, please remind me later. So the difference is simple. Remember equals inside your mind. Remind equals help someone else remember. Number 6. Job versus work. Now, let's talk about job and work. These are very common words. Job is a specific position. For example, I have a new job. It's a role or position. Now, work is more general. It describes activity. For example, I have a lot of work today. So, job equals position. Work equals activity. Number 7. Fun versus funny. This pair is very common. Fun means something is enjoyable. For example, the trip was fun. Now, funny means something makes you laugh. For example, that video was funny. So remember, fun equals enjoyable. Funny equals makes you laugh. Number 8. Advice versus advise. These words look almost the same, but they are different. Advice is a noun. It is a thing. For example, thank you for your advice. Now, advise is a verb. It is an action. For example, I advise you to rest. So, advice equals noun. Advise equals verb. Number 9. Alone versus lonely. Now, let's talk about alone and lonely. These words are about being by yourself, but they are different. Alone describes a situation. For example, I am alone at home. Now, lonely is a feeling. For example, I feel lonely. So, alone equals physical state. Lonely equals emotional feeling. Number 10. Miss versus lose. Let's finish with miss and lose. These words are very different. Miss is about emotion. For example, I miss my family. You feel something because they are not with you. Now, lose means you no longer have something. For example, I lost my keys. So, miss equals emotional. Lose equals no longer have. Let's pause for a moment. You may notice something important. These are not difficult words, but the differences are subtle, and these small differences are what make English sound natural. Many learners try to learn big vocabulary, but mastering these simple words is what truly improves your fluency. You've done something meaningful today. By listening calmly and consistently, you are training your mind to understand English naturally. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be perfect. Just keep listening. Little by little, English will become easier. Thank you for being here with me today, and I'll see you in the next lesson.